Hey everybody, and yeah, welcome, I guess, to the very first of a series that I'm going to do. I think I'm going to call it something like, I guess, the Falcon crypto rating, as you can kind of see here, the Falcon rating. In this series, what I want to do is kind of what I said on Twitter as well. I want to look at all the different cryptos, or like as many as possible, of course, and rank them. What to kind of show you how I look at cryptos and like how I do my research. We won't be able to cover everything because obviously like it will be hours and hours and hours that I usually spend on it, but the most of it will be done here. I think a lot of the stuff as well is that everyone is always like shouting online stuff like, do your own research and all that kind of stuff. But like sometimes doing your own research is quite difficult, right? It's quite hard. One, you may not know like where to start. And two, like, okay, now that you've read this stuff, like how do you rank it? And the third thing is like you might not even have the time to do it yourself. So what I was kind of thinking of doing here is basically doing the research for you. Yeah, obviously, like I'm going to explain in this video is the first one in the series. Is going to be a little bit longer because I'm going to explain like how I rank stuff and why I do it that way. The next ones will be a little bit shorter, and we can just basically just go through it and fill it in. The sheet that you see in front of you here is something that I've created throughout the last couple of days, because I think this will make it clear and understandable. And the cool thing is like the more coins we look at, the more we start to fill the sheet in, the more like you'll see all the different coins find like their place between the rest, right? So if I tell you right now, like look at an XRP or an Ethereum or a Bitcoin, you might have like a general idea of, okay, they're somewhere up at the top because, well, you already kind of know what they all do. However, when you throw in like other coins, like, I don't know, we've heard a lot of stuff like about say SafeMoon or something like that, like the last couple of months, you might be okay, it's not in the top 10, that's for sure, but outside of that, like where would it rank? And the way I always look at stuff is I want to take kind of an approach to stuff that takes emotion out of it. So I have a general idea of what I want, and then I create a plan around that, what I want. I try to build a system around it and then be completely emotionless when I start to value things that I know nothing about, right? So it might be some completely new coin that I don't know. And then I just go through the motions, and then eventually I'll find out, okay, this is a good or a bad coin, or it might be something that's worth looking into a bit deeper or not. So that's what I want to do here. So sorry if that introduction was a little bit longer than planned. To be very honest, I have no idea how long this video is going to last. I'm just going to walk through it all, and I want to, for me right now, it's more important that it's done correctly and that I'm very clear than that I rush through all of this. So hope you guys don't mind. So the first thing I wanted to do today is I'm going to explain the sheet, and then once I've explained it, I want to immediately start looking at a coin as well. And then the one that I've chosen for today, it has to be XRP, of course. XRP is, as most of you probably know, is my love, the coin I love the most. So I'm going to start with that. But in the future, moving forward, I'd love you guys to make suggestions, and then we can kind of like I know what I'll do. I'll probably do like Twitter polls, or I'll look in the comment section here below and kind of see what people are suggesting, and then we'll start to fill them in. Maybe the first two or three I might just do the bigger ones, just so that you have kind of a basic idea of where they stand, and then you can compare the rest towards them. But hey, look, I'm open to doing whatever you guys feel like is best. So just let me know. Okay, so let's get started. I'll get through these tabs in the bottom in a second. I just want to give you a general idea of a high-level overview first. So obviously every single row here is going to be a different coin. So we'll start filling them all the way up. Then I'm going to go left to right. So obviously in the left here, we're going to start by selecting the different coins. Then it will automatically fill out the abbreviation here, or the symbol, whatever you want to call it. So basically all the gray fields here will automatically fill in themselves. There's, as you can see kind of up here, there's formulas in them. They'll make more sense later on when we actually start to fill stuff in. For now, just know that the gray fields you don't have to fill in, and the white ones we will actually have to take action. So what I've done is basically I've created a couple of ranks, I guess, or things that I evaluate tokens and coins on that I think are important. So as you can see here, there's the project, the team, the tech, the market, the performance, and social. And what I've done is I've given all of them the exact same amount of points. So every category has 200 points, as you can see here. that can be divided into the subcategories that we'll go into a second, but like all within these main category. Then what I have done is then I've placed like I weigh them differently because certain things are more important to me than others. So for me, like the project is very important. So I really value a good project and like what it is that they're trying to do, like are they solving problems, etc. Right? That's something that I value very high. So the final score you can see here for me, like 40% of that will come from the actual project. Second, you can see here's the tech. Like it needs to make sense for me. Are people working on it? Are they going in the right direction? Like I don't know. Like for I'm trying to think of it, give you an example, but like there's no point in working with a Nokia when there's an iPhone out there already, right? So the tech is quite important for me. Obviously not as important as the project itself, but it is quite important. So I weigh that 20%. The next in line I have kind of the market. So we're looking at stuff like, well, like I can get into more details there because that's quite a long one here. The market is stuff that a lot of stuff data that I pull in automatically through an API. But you can see it here, like when was it created? How long has it been there? Like what's the current price? What's the market cap? What is the volume? What's the circulating supply, that kind of stuff. We'll take a closer look at that, at that in a second. So that's the market. That's 15%. Then the next up, I've got the team and the performance. So I value these both at 10%. Why? I do think a team is quite important, but I also know that a lot of decentralized stuff, the team might be very hard to find. Now, for me, it's not something that I'm too happy with if you know nothing about the team that's behind it. For me, that kind of means like alarm bells ringing and that kind of stuff. But at the same time, like look at stuff like Bitcoin with Satoshi and like it is important. However, for me, like other stuff is more important, right? So as you can see, it's a weighing of 10, and then social, I've kind of last after team and performance. Performance I'll break down a bit more in a minute as well over here when we get there. And then same for social, it's just like social media stuff, right? So what's the presence online? Are people aware of it? That kind of stuff as well. And the way I value this, or the reason I value this so low, for me means that trying to kind of think how I can explain this, but like I'm kind of aware of or afraid of, I guess. I'm not looking for, I don't know the exact term that I'm looking to say here, but for pump and dumps and that kind of stuff, where the social media plays a big role. People get really excited, they pump a lot of money in, and then the rug gets pulled and everyone loses their money. And it's just something that I don't value social that much, but it's in there because it does affect the market, and for certain moves as well, because what you'll see in the end is the investment type. If I click on it here, you can see kind of like long-term, short-term, mid-term. Sometimes social media might create a certain setup that is just really good for like a short-term move or something like that, kind of in and out quickly. Now, there's two things here. So you've got the Falcon rating, which is the way that I finally rate this project, and we've got the unweighed ranking. That is basically treating all of these groups the same, right? So if you feel like that, no, all of these things should be weighed exactly the same, then you'll have a ranking here. Then the Falcon ranking is based on these percentages up here, like how heavy each of those categories weighs. But it'll make more sense later on when we start to fill stuff in. Okay, so walking through all of this stuff here. So first of all, the white paper. So if I've read the white paper, if I haven't read the white paper, that makes a big difference. Because first of all, I think if you don't know what you're talking about, then you shouldn't invest your money there in the first place. So let's actually, I'm just going to fill this in as we go. Today I wanted to start with XRP, as I said. So let's put XRP in here. Now, at the moment, ignore these points here because it's taking them from stuff in here that hasn't been filled in yet. Also, the API that I've connected, there's a couple of them. Let me look down here first. So we've got the CoinMarketCap API that pulls in like just a whole bunch of data here. I also have the CoinGecko API, which pulls in some data here. Same for CoinPaprika, or Paprika, depends on where you are, I guess, how you want to pronounce that one. And then I've got a second one for CoinPaprika as well, because this one depends on the actual, the individual coins, because it just gives you a little bit more information about them there. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to open it up. As you can see here, those APIs. Now for the CoinPaprika one, I'm just going to show you, if I click on edit, here at the end, you can see here XRP. That's just because the CoinPaprika ID as they have here is XRP. So that's the one I have now for the moment here for XRP. When we'll be looking at other coins, we'll be using the other IDs, but I just wanted to show you where that was. So that's there. So I'm going to cancel that. For now, I'm going to run all the APIs so that we have all of the fresh data. You'll see stuff change probably now in a second. So let's let it run. Taking a sip while we're waiting. So yeah, once this is done, which should be done in a few seconds, we'll start filling in the data and a lot become more clear. But I just really hope that you like what we're doing. No, come on. There we go. Okay, so that's all done. So we filled in XRP up here at the front. Now, ignoring this part, we're ignoring this part. So have I read the white paper? Yes, I have. And I'm actually going to open it here because we'll need it in a second. So XRP white paper. So the very first thing that I usually do is start with the white paper. So for now, I'm just going to tick this box because I have read it. So you can see as well, if I haven't, you get like minus 200 points. Right? If I have, you'll see it's 0, just neutral. But it's just something that I think you should have done. Actually, before I dive into that, just going to do the final thing here is the points, because you'll see throughout this, I'll talk you through the points that we get. I also have kind of rankings here at the end for certain ranges, which I'll cover then as well. Okay, so I've read the white paper. Has Ripple had an ICO? No, they have not. So what is the use case? Now, I'm not going to go through this whole paper in this video. I'll probably do it in another one if you'd like me to. Just let me know below in the comments. But for now, what I want to do is I'm going to jump straight to page 8. And then you can see, where was it? Should be here, if I remember that correctly. Let me scan through this very quickly. Yeah, here we go. When taken together, these qualities allow the Ripple network to function as a fast and low-cost global payments network with well-understood security and reliability properties. So this is basically the use case. So what I like to do, I want to put it in here so that if I ever have any questions or doubts about any of the cryptos, I will be able to find it fast. So I'm just going to leave that in there. So for me, one of the most important things is a problem that they're solving. Now, yes, they are solving a big problem. I'm not going to explain this too much because I'm pretty sure most of you guys already know a lot about XRP. You know that they're solving the cross-border transaction problem, the cost and the time and all that kind of stuff that come with it. Now, as you can see here, there was a total of 200 points to be divided. For me, if they had done an ICO, they would get 50 points less. It's not that I personally have something against ICOs. I just feel like with the SEC and other things cracking down on ICOs, I just rather have them not have done an ICO. So in that case, you get 50 points. Most of the points here from the project itself is from the solving a problem. So they do, and that's where the under 150 points come from. Okay, so now we have this part done. We're moving on to the next part, which is evaluate the team. Okay, so as you can see here in the title as well, I've got Live CoinWatch. So let's open up Live CoinWatch. And basically what I'm looking for here is, does the team have professional experience? Like, I want to know if these people have done something like this before or if they're completely new, fresh out of school, that kind of stuff. So what I do is I click on XRP. Down here, you can see team. There are other ways to do this, of course, but I really like this way because it's fast. As you can see here, they have the team listed and directly their LinkedIn's as well. So I'm just going to click on the first couple here just to get a good idea of the team. And I'm not looking for like everyone to have worked in the best companies in the world. I just want to see if, like, in general, there is a good experience there. Now, Brad Garlinghouse, I'm going to start off with him. I don't need to look, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to go down here. Look, you see stuff like AOL. We see Yahoo. Like, yeah, he's got some good experience here. David Schwartz. To be honest, looking at his LinkedIn, I find it quite difficult because I know he's done some really cool stuff, but the companies that he's listed, for me, they just don't mean anything. Now, I could research this a little bit deeper if I wanted to, and I didn't know the company that well. I know David Schwartz has done some cool stuff. I believe also with the CIA and that kind of stuff as well. back in the day. I might have that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. For now, I'm just going to move on to some other guys. What can I see here? Look, they're all some nice, cool companies. Yahoo once again, Bank of America. For me, this would already have been enough, but I'm just going to show you a few more. We got some Facebook here, Google, Ashish Birla. Let's have a look at him. Like MoneyGram, Bitso, Neom. Yeah, look, Reuters, Quantcast. Cool. Yeah, look, for me, that's enough. There's some good experience there in the team. I like the team. Like, we can obviously continue this deep dive for quite long, but for now I want to speed it up a little bit. So for me, yes, they do have some good experience. So you can see the 200 points that the team could earn. They're getting them from me here as well. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the tech. Moving on to the first thing here, which is the consensus mechanism. So as you can see, I've coined Paprika on top of this here. I'm just going to open that as well. Paprika. And let's go down to XRP. Okay, so what we are looking for is the consensus mechanism, other stuff like the platform, algorithm, org structure, that kind of stuff. So what I usually do, once you click on it, come down here, and you can see stuff here, right? So we have, like, say, the algorithm. Put that in here. This is more for information at this point. I don't score stuff specifically on the algorithm just yet. Now, there's a couple of things which I'm not a big fan of. So obviously, wait, I'm just going to put, so the consensus mechanism here is, it's consensus, so it's proof of consensus. Consensus. Now you can see here 50 points popped up. Now I think it's time now to jump over here. So these are the different types of consensus mechanisms that I've in here right now. I will be adding to this like as we proceed. For me, I've given a maximum amount of points of 50. You can see that up here to this category. The way I've done it is 50 points to consensus, proof of consensus, 25 points to proof of stake, 20 points to delegated proof of stake, only 5 points to proof of work, 2.5 points to proof of burn, and then the others I'm just giving it 0. I will be changing this as we progress, as I said, but the reason I did this, and once again, guys, this is the way I rate stuff. I am not a fan of proof of work. I just believe in the saying proof of work doesn't work. I think you can see that internationally right now, people are cracking down on it. The whole environmentally friendly issue is not being green and so forth and so forth. So I'm not a fan. I'm also not really a fan of proof of stake. Yes, it's more, it's better than proof of work in my eyes, because I like, besides the fact that proof of work is bad for the environment, the second thing I don't like about it is the centralization aspect. Now, I won't go into that too much. We've all talked about China and that kind of stuff, but like, I don't care about China doing, like, that's not what I mean here. What I mean is, rich people will make more money than poor people doing exactly the same stuff, pure because they can buy stuff in quantity, right? In large amounts. Which often mean discount. So say, as an example, if you need to mine and it does cost a lot of energy, when you how do you say, it's like buy energy in large quantities, you'll usually get a cheaper rate, which means that it's not a linear line, right? For everyone, it's not the same. So the more money you have, the more impact you have to mine. Now, when you look at proof of stake, yes, it's better for the environment. However, I'm still not a big fan of it because of the same issue, basically, like locking up money that you have. Now, it's a bit better than Bitcoin when it comes to that kind of stuff, because it is linear, right? So, or at least it's better than proof of work in my eyes. But I don't want to stick on this too long. This is the way I look at this. If you don't agree with this, please do let me know. I'd love to have a conversation with you, be it on Twitter or in the comments or any other place. I have an open mind, and I'm here to be convinced, right? Literally, this is just the way I look at it right now. So just wanted to explain that part. Okay, so we've had the consensus mechanism. The platform. Now the platform, why I have that here and what this means, and it doesn't show up here in XRP, but I'm going to give you an example of where it does show up. Take Binance Coin. If I scroll down, you'll see it has platform, it has Ethereum, right? So XRP is done on its own platform, it's not built on something else. So I'm just going to leave that empty, and you can see there's a 0 here. The platform for me is a minus. There's a if it's built on a different platform, on something else, like in this case Binance Coin is, for me that's a negative. I don't like anything to be dependent on something else, right? So if Binance could be the best coin in the world, if Ethereum fails, Binance coin fails. You know what I mean? So I don't like that dependency. So for me that would be minus 50 points. So in this case it's 0. Okay, so let's move on. So now we're looking at the org structure. Now that's another thing that I don't really like, because here you can see, say, org structure with Binance has centralized, right? If I go to say, where is it? Say Bitcoin. You can see down here that it says that it's decentralized. I'm just going to copy that. And if I look at XRP, they just don't mention it at all, which I just don't like that. As in, like, XRP is decentralized. Anyone who does the proper research knows it. So I'm obviously going to put that in here as well. And then when you look at the org structure points, so I'm going to go back to the points here. You can see that for me, when we look at the org structure, oh, I don't have it in here, do I? It's just in, so just put in the formula here. So you can see for centralized, you get 0 points. For semi-centralized, you get 25 points. That would be something like, say, Cardano. And then you have decentralized, you get 50 points. So 50 points here. The next one is open source. So I'm pretty sure that got pulled in from CoinPaprika. Is it here? Maybe it's the other one. Actually, just going to double check. It might still be here in XRP. Here, open source. There you go. Yes. Right. So we have it here as well. Like, even though I might know the answers, I want to actually show you exactly where I get it from, because once again, we're doing research here, right? So just want to make sure everything is open and honest. So open source, yes. So you get points as well. As you can see up here, if it was open source, you get 50 points. If it's not open source, you get 0 points. So what is it? A type. So here we're looking at either a coin or a token. And do I have it here? Yeah, so as you can see here, if it's a coin, you get 50 points. If it's a token, you get 25 points. Now, a lot of people think there's no difference, but there is. The coin is the, if I'm explaining this correctly, and please correct me once again if I'm wrong here, guys, because once again, we're here to learn together. A coin would be like the native token, or sorry, I'm mixing myself, would be the native asset, I guess, on a platform, and a token would be built on top of it. And I know I'm butchering the explanation here, but I'll leave that for our next time. There is a difference. So I prefer coins. So coin here, 50 points, token 25 points. Then we're moving on to the GitHub contributors, the commits and the stars. Once again, we can go here to CoinPaprika. We can go at look at the code progress, and then they link stuff to GitHub. We'll go over there in a second as well, but for now, we're going to take this. So 109 for the contributors. Put that in there. Then we have the commits, and the last one was the stars. So there's the stars. I'm just going to put that in here for now. And then the commits. Actually, I'm just going to line that up nicely. There we go. For the commits, I think we actually have to go to GitHub. Here we go. We can see the commits, 12,471. 12,471. Okay. And then we look at some of the languages. I know there won't be all of the languages, but it does show the main ones. I'm just going to click here on GitHub and you can see here like the top languages. Basically, the more languages are mentioned, the better. They don't score a lot of points from here. It's just literally 1 point for every language. It's not something game changer, but it is something I wanted to include because I think basically using a lot of, like, I guess, more prominent languages just helps. So let's have a quick look. We had JavaScript, Python, TypeScript. So JavaScript, TypeScript, and Python. And then we also had C++ and Shell. C++ and shell. Now, if, say, I figure out that more and more stuff is used, I will also add that in. Now, for now, I won't do any of that stuff because I want to kind of go through this fast because I know this video is going to be long enough. So that's kind of the tech evaluated from my point here. So next thing we look at then would be the market, right? So we're going to evaluate the market. Now, there's not a lot of stuff that we need to fill in here because most of this stuff, and we will run through it, it pulls in from these APIs down here, right? So basically, you can see here like the all-time high, what it was. I use CoinGecko preferably. I'm not a big fan of CoinMarketCap. Most of you, I'm guessing, will agree. If you don't, well, hey, that's fine. Everyone can use whatever they want. For me, I just prefer CoinGecko. So here, all-time high, as I have it here, the date, when that was, and then I've got like all-time high data points. So you can kind of see when I look at the points. When it comes to the different dates, for me, the longer it was since you hit your all-time high, the more points you score, basically. See, so like if it happened like with the last month, you get 0.6 points. If it happened, whatever here, like you see, just the longer it took, the more. Because for me, I think in a bull market, altcoins move. I want to find stuff that hasn't moved yet, and I'll rate that a little bit higher. So that's why you can see that there. So in this case, 7th of January 2018. So it gets 30 points, and you can see that. Where are you? Yeah, up here. All right. Next one up, all-time high difference. Kind of the same rule for me. When it's far below its all-time high, I think it still has a long way to go. So I see that as a positive thing. Once again, just because in a bull market everything moves, XRP is one of the top coins. It just hasn't moved yet. All of this probably has to do with the case the SEC has currently has ongoing. But like once that clears up, I'm pretty sure that will all change as well. So for me, it's a positive thing. Same kind of scoring, so you can see here the all-time high difference. If it's far above the all-time high, negative points. If it's far below the all-time high, positive points with a maximum of 30. Okay, so you can see that maximum up here as well by these two. Okay, next moving on, the market cap, or sorry, the current price, and I've got all the kind of stuff information here. So date added points. So this is from something for me as well that I really like, that if it's been around for a while, I trust it more, basically. All right, so date added, so you can kind of see here. The older something is, the more points that I give it. So that's what I do here as well. Then I have the market cap rank, which I take into consideration as well. So the market cap rank points, same thing here. So in the top 10, you get the most points, and then for every 10 places, basically, you lose a point. And then when it goes outside the top, I guess it's the top 290, you just get 1 point. So obviously, the higher the market cap rank, the better. So that's what we do there. Volume, look at volume 2. So as you can see here, this is the volume for the last 24 hours. I've just divided that up like into like certain ranks like this as well. You can see maximum of 30 points again. So same thing. The higher the volume, the better. Circulating supply. This is something that actually XRP doesn't score too good at because of basically supply and demand, right? There's a lot of XRP that still has to be released into the market, which I do think will affect the price. Like how much it will affect it, I don't know, but I do think it does make a difference. So you can see that here as well. Circulating supply, the more that's circulating, the more points that you'll score. So if you were, say, to take Bitcoin and compare that with XRP, Bitcoin would score a lot more points here than XRP would, because it's just closer to the 21 million, right? Closer to the max supply, right, in that case. I have another field here where it's a max supply points, where I subtract 100 points if it doesn't have a max supply. I am a big fan of a max supply because you know exactly what happens. It's deflationary. Yeah, that's just something that I'm a fan of when it comes to crypto. So if it does have one like now, max supply, there's just 0 points. If it doesn't, then you'll see it would have been subtracted. Then the next two things that we need to actually need to fill in are liquidity and the number of exchanges. So we can go back here to Coin Paprika. I clicked on liquidity here, and here you can see the combined orders. So I'm going to take that and put that in here. And then you can see, well, you can score liquidity points. Same here, the more liquid it is, the more points. The next one up here would be market pairs. I'm looking at this going, yeah, market pairs, there you go. So it's pulling it from the CoinMarketCap API. So the more pairs there are, the better. This was more ways to move in and out of the currency. So once again, you can see here you score points on that as well. Right, so the market pairs. Okay, next one up. It's actually quite. I actually do want to double check this because I can see the market pairs here, 636. Well, I believe. Oh no, okay. I was just mixed up with something. I'm just going to leave it there. Actually, I was mixed up with the exchanges, which I was looking at there a minute ago. So you can see here the number of exchanges for XRP is 126. So Ingo is 126. You get your exchange points. For me, it's important. The more exchanges, the better, right? So you can see here, I only give it 10 points in total because like the more exchanges is not necessarily better when it comes to like really small exchanges. But I think you have to have like a minimum amount. So yeah, give it 10 points here. Then, okay, so now we've done that. We've got the market evaluated. So now we're going to move on to the next thing, and that's kind of the performance. I really like the website Lunar Crush for this. I'll show you now why. Close these, we don't need them anymore. I am going to open up XRP here. Okay. So the top trading pair, I think it should be at the bottom here. Yeah, top trading pairs. So you can see it's XRP USD. So basically it's the ones here, right? USD, USDT, that kind of stuff. So USD. As you can see, 40 points. I have given it, at the moment I have it like this, so top trading pair. This is just the way I prefer it, right? So USD is for me is a solid one. It's nice, scores the highest points. USDC also pretty good. Tether, I'm not a fan of Tether, so that's why Tether just scores a lot less points for me. If we come across coins that have different top trading pairs, we'll start to add them in, and we can change the points a little bit. But for now, I'm just going to leave it like this for the start, because I'm pretty sure that the top coins usually will have one of these as their top trading pair. Okay, market dominance. Now, for XRP, that's obviously not going to be so high. Where are you? Market dominance, here we go. So the market dominance for XRP is 1.96%. 1.96%. So you get, percent. I was wondering why XRP was getting all the points there. There you go. XRP only gets 10 points. So if you look at it here, the market dominance, once you go above 50%, you get all of the points. So basically Bitcoin would probably be up here somewhere. Obviously at the moment it kind of fluctuates a little bit, but Bitcoin would score a lot more points here for market dominance than in this case, say, an XRP would. Okay, next one up is the Galaxy score. Now this is something that you might not be familiar with, but I quite like it. So I'm just going to hover over it so you can see it here on the screen. I'll read it out as well. So the Galaxy score measures a coin's performance versus itself over time and how it is trending over the last 50 hours. In general, it indicates how healthy a coin is by looking at combined performance indicators across markets and deep social engagement. Scores greater than 50 are generally bullish, while scores less than 50 are generally bearish. Now you can see here, the XRP score is, the current score here is 65, right? So 65, and I'll show you as well. You can see here they've gotten some points for that as well. So here you can see, as they said, above and below 50 was what where the difference was, right? So a score below 50 obviously gets minus points, and above 50 gets plus points, with a maximum points that they can score there of 40. Okay, now we're going to go into the next one, which is the alt rank. Okay, so the alt rank here is, I'll read it out as well. The alt rank measures a coin's performance versus all other coins that we actively support, and with we I mean Lunar Crush. In general, it's a unique measurement that combines altcoins' price performance relative to Bitcoin and other social activity indicators across the entire crypto market. A coin can have a high alt rank or even of 1 even if in a bear market situation. Now you can see here that the alt rank currently here is 122. Right, 122. So I'm going to put that in here as well. Okay, so you can see XRP scores 16 points out of an available 40 points, right? You can see that here as well. All right, top 40 all the way down to 1. Okay, so that's the performance, and we're going on to the last group here, and this is kind of like the social activity. Now the first one here, the correlation rank, I fill it in. However, I don't really use it in the calculation at the moment because I don't know how to work it in yet. I probably will sometime soon, but right now I'm just going to leave it in there. So it's 54, but you will see I'm not giving it a score yet because I still have to figure out how to work that in. Social dominance will be the next one. So there we go. Where is it? Social dominance here. So you can see that's 0.3% is the current score. You can see here social dominance is the measurement of all social media volume a coin has compared to the market as a whole. Right, so I'm looking for activity online. So 0.3 is what it is at the moment for XRP, 0.3%. So it's quite low. It's a 0. So as you can see here, did I not have it in this one? Let me double check. Oh yeah, no, I put it as here. It's basically it's a rounded up. So I take the percentage of social dominance as a whole. So the maximum, if you were completely ruled social media, you'd get a maximum of 80 points. In this case, XRP gets 0.3% of 80 points, which is 0, so it's nothing. Or probably if I actually show you the numbers, you'll see, yeah, I get something, but it's neglectable. Okay, next one I want to look at is Google Trends. So Google Trends. I want to do a bit of my own research as well, not completely just depend on Lunar Crush. So what I do here is type in XRP. Now, obviously XRP doesn't score quite high in this kind of stuff because a lot of time people confuse XRP with Ripple. But I'm going to put XRP, I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to put in worldwide. I will see the interest over time. You can see it's currently at 15. So put in 15. Once again, look at the points. You're just going to want to explain it to you. Oh, sorry. Once again, I have it in here. This is, oh, sorry, same thing as well, right? So I look at the percentage, and then it takes it from 40. So 15% of 40 is 6. So next up, news. I just want to take a quick look at Google, the news. So what I put in here is just XRP. Switch over to news, and I can see these are the results. So I'm going to take these results, and I'm going to put them in here. Okay, and you can see XRP scores 15 out of 40 points. Now, the last thing that I have still to add in here is my own kind of poll on Twitter. You probably saw that over the last couple of days. Let me let's get the final results. Actually, what I want to double check as well with you guys, if you know a better way to do this, please let me know, because when I want to do a I don't know what it's called, like a better search, I will just put in, say, something. I'm just going to type in Martin right now. Do an advanced search. That's the word I was looking for. Like, I just search something randomly, and then I can click on the 3 dots and go to advanced. Is there a way to go to advanced without having that prior search? So what I want to do here is I'm going to put an XRP just to find my poll, and it came from me. So Martin CP Valk. Search. Just going to scroll down through my feed. Yeah, there we go. do you hold XRP? So obviously, this one is biased. I have a lot of XRP followers in my group. It's not going to have a big impact anyway. But so for now, I'm going to say yes. So it's 92.6. So I did a poll, and the answer was 92.6. So you can see out of the available 40 points, XRP scores 37, because this is quite high. A lot of people in my Twitter feed are confident about XRP, which I expect because they're all, or most of them are holders of XRP. Now that we have everything filled in, we go back to the beginning. You can kind of see what it has showed, the results. So let's go to the results. So basically, you can kind of see how it's divided, like where it scores the most points in which areas. And based on this, I kind of look at like how I value that project. Like, does it mean something for me? Like, if something scores really low on, say, these first three and really high on these last ones, it might be something to get in and out of quick. It might be something that I would never touch at all. So for me, I kind of look at not only the amount of points, because you can see here, like say the total points scored is 933.52 out of like a maximum of what is it like here, 1200. Maybe you can see that down here. 1200 max they scored, so it's got like 77.79% of the available points. So it scores quite high. I'm not surprised. Obviously, I created the ranking, and XRP is one of my favorites, so I would expect it to score quite high. But what you also can see is that like the way it's weighed is towards the project, the team, and the tech. Like these three are the main ones, and you can see it scores a lot lower at the moment on the market performance and social. Now, because of this setup, is something that would be a long-term investment, right? You can see that here. And at the current, obviously, it's number one because it's the only one we have in here. Now, guys, I hope you kind of like what I did here. I know I may have run through it maybe too quick for your liking, but I also didn't want this video to get too long because I know it already is. Now, with the next videos, it won't take that long because I won't have to explain every single step along the way. I'll show you where I found the information, and I'll definitely prove to you that what I'm filling in is correct, but I won't need to explain my calculations and show you the points and the APIs and that kind of stuff. So yeah. That's this for now. So obviously I have XRP right now, number one, scoring a weighted 180.63 points, which you can see is obviously a lot lower than the points here. That's because, once again, I take these percentages of how I weigh it into consideration as well, right? So this would be the unweighed result. This is the weighed result. But you'll see later on, as we start to fill in more crypto, that these will not always be the same. And something might be ranked, I don't know, say number 5 on this side, but actually number 3 on this side, or number 4 on this side, and number 7 here. Like it won't be the same because of where I put my focus. Now, guys, what I'd love to hear from you below in the comment section is which coin we should do next. If you don't suggest anything, or if you're okay with it, we can do Bitcoin, just to have it like as a baseline as well. Just kind of see how Bitcoin ranks compared to XRP. But if you would like to start with something else, I'm completely open to that too. Please let me know. Let me know if you like what I'm doing here. If you have any suggestions, because look, I really want to like do the research for you so that you don't have to, but I do want it to make sense as well. Okay, guys, that's it for now. Thanks a million, and I look forward to getting your feedback. All right, bye-bye.